Welcome to the Forged in Fire podcast. Meet your host, Nate Farmer Eden, co-founder and CEO of Eden Capital, dedicated to achieving financial independence for his community, and Cole Farrell, founder and CEO of Vulcan Capital, a real estate expert with a passion for empowering others through education. Stay tuned for another episode right here on Forged in Fire.
Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of Forged in Fire. I'm your co-host, Nate Farmer Eden. I'm going to introduce my counterpart, Cole. Come on stage, brother.
Yo, Nate, what is going on today?
Oh, dude, Tuesday, fired up. We've got a lot of exciting things happening this week, and it's flying by. Dude, I don't know. I don't feel like I don't know if I can keep up. How about you?
Dude, I'm with you. It's crazy. It's super exciting. We've got emails flying all over the place. We're closing in a few days, the biggest deal we've ever done, and it's arguably one of the best deals we've ever done, and we're so excited. So amped up on that, and things are going good. So today's going to be a special episode where we're not going to have a guest, and we're going to focus just Nate and I on something that we think is near and dear to us, something that's super important that everybody should, factor into their careers or their real estate or their entrepreneurship or wherever you want to take it. So before we get into that, though, obviously we got to hit our housekeeping stuff. So of course, please leave us a rating and review so we can grow, educate others. If you're not subscribed, there's something wrong with you. So please subscribe underneath. Third, we have an event coming up. We've mentioned this every single time, and it's going to be mid-November, and depending on when you hear this. And so we're going to talk to anybody that wants to get started in investing or just heard of real estate investing and they're not sure, where to go or what to do. It's all about why it is the most effective way to get to financial freedom and just kind of going into all the details with that. So please join us there. It's going to be incredible. And lastly, as always, we're going to have a really good ass time here. So buckle up.
Nate. Dude, it's going to be crazy. I love it.
All right. I got a question for you. So I'm not going to tell you the topic. I'm just going to ask you our first question, and we're going to see what you come up with. So are you ready?
No, but, that's fine.
Great. How does a positive mindset impact success in real estate?
Oh, so good. So good. Having a positive mindset, especially when it pertains to real estate investing or really anything in life, is pivotal, right? And it's key to be able to sort of helping an individual put their best foot forward, right? So I'll give you kind of an example for myself, right? One of the things that I try and I strive to do every day is stick to a routine, stick to a regimen, stick to kind of what you would refer to as like your MINS, like setting goals, setting markers when I wake up. My daily routine is kind of such. Like I wake up 4 o'clock roughly every morning. After that, I know that by 4:30, 4:45, I'm in the gym. So it's about a 10-minute drive, give or take. So I'm up, getting myself together, throwing on my workout clothes, and I'll make it make sense here in a second. But then I'm in the gym by 4:45. And what I do once I get to the gym every morning, doesn't matter, Monday through Saturday, I take Sundays for a day of rest, is I put on slow jams, R&B. Those that are listening, don't laugh at me, but it helps me kind of calm and meditate myself. And I get criticized for this often, no less than 30 minutes of stretching every morning. And I'm meditating and I'm going through my daily routine. And with that, I'm asking myself questions. What's the most important next step for myself? What is it that I need to tackle? Was there anything that I didn't finish from yesterday that I need to do to be able to make sure that I add that to the top of the list first and foremost? Somebody that I needed to follow up with. I go through those questions time and time again, because what it does for me is it allows me to relax. It allows me to focus. It allows me to sort of be my best self. So that way, by the time I wrap up in the gym and I'm going home, I've already got a leg up on everybody that's still asleep. That's number one. But number two is putting myself into a state of mind that I'm like, when dad walks through the door, before I wake up the kids, dad's now getting right back into mode where it's like, we've got to get the family together. I've already had a moment to myself. I've had a moment to sort of prepare for the challenges of the day, but I can also now sort of breathe and prepare to put my armor on. Cole's going to dig into that before I go to the office. So, I mean, we'll get more into mindset a little bit, but I kind of wanted to give everybody kind of context of what I do and how I prepare myself every day to put my best self forward.
Dude, I love that. It's so good. And I think a huge thing that you just mentioned, just to sum that up, is just like starting your day correctly in like a consistent manner. I love that you said you give yourself you time and that you're kind of playing things through in your head and like getting your head straight. I think it's so critical. And it's funny because we talk about this a lot. Like, start your day properly, get in that positive, just good place before you tackle everything, because you know the day is going to go sideways. And, you know, there's going to be things happening all over the place. So it's just like, okay, let's start off in a good manner and not just wake up into chaos and then you're sideways. I love that. You know, I like that you brought up like the put on your armor. I heard that. I don't know if anyone here watches Suits. I love Suits. And one of the things they mentioned is just like the guy, the main character, you know, they deal with these battles. It's a TV show, yada, yada, yada. But anyways, they wear a suit, obviously, right? And, you know, if you're watching this now and you see me, I'm not in a suit today because I don't feel great. But normally I wake up, put on my nice clothes, my tie, everything like that. And it's like putting on your armor. And it's just a mental kick of like ready for the day, get set up. Kind of like Nate mentioned with his stretching and with kind of putting on his routine and his things, like you just get comfortable and you do the things that you need to kind of get your mind right. And I just think positivity kind of goes into that.
I agree 1,000%. Well, tell me a little, before we dive more into the positivity, what does your daily routine look like? And do you want to talk about MINS?
Yeah, definitely. All right, you're going to make fun of my daily routine. You get up at 4 a.m., which is goddamn insane. I would jump off a bridge, so I give you credit. I usually wake up at like 7-ish. I need my sleep. I don't know what it is, but I need like a lot of sleep. I wake up at 7. I come downstairs. I play with we have 3 cats. So I play with them and kind of that just starts waking me up and they crack me up. I think pets are hysterical. So they make me laugh and it starts my day right. Again, back to positivity, like laughing when you immediately wake up, I think is so helpful. So I always enjoy that. And then I have a whole routine of kind of like a bullet journal, and I go through affirmations, I go through visualizations, I go through MINS, and I'll touch on that in a second. I go through like a little kind of, I don't know, journaling, whatever you want to call it, but like just a snippet of what's going on in my life, because I think it's super cool to look back on that, and it kind of helps me set up other things. As trying to think if I missed anything in there. Usually try to exercise a little bit. So anyways, have this routine that helps me get in a good headspace. So before even anyone's calling me or texting me, I just feel like I'm ready to attack the world. Do you want to go into MINS now?
Please do. Please, you're on a roll. This is great. I got follow-up questions, but go ahead, do the MINS, and then we'll dive in.
All right. So we talk about this all the time, and I'm sure you'll hear this in other episodes, but like Nate, myself, our team, we try to live and die by these things called MINS, your most important next steps. And these are critical because they're not important in terms of like things that need to get done that are urgent. Urgency does not matter. It's things that are important to your growth, things that will actually get you further. So for instance, let's use an example. I could have go to court, file an eviction, right? And there's a whole other thing we can go into here. That's like a maintenance task. Yes, it's important. And yes, it's urgent, but does that actually facilitate my growth? Hell no, that does nothing except kind of manages money in my portfolio. So instead, maybe it's make an offer on a property. Maybe it's check that closing statement. Maybe it's go to lunch with somebody that I want to have invest with us. Whatever it is, those are things that will grow the career and the business. That's a MIN. So it's delegating 3 things every day that are MINs and making sure you get them done. Some people like to get them done first, and that's cool. I usually like to, but it never happens. But I make sure I do not go to sleep and stop my workday until my MINs are done.
Dude, so good. Again, so many gems dropped. And I struggled with that. And admittedly, still do to this day. Like, I have not perfected it when it comes to MINS. I live and I die by them and setting them. But sometimes shit happens. Shit comes up. I get convoluted. I get sidetracked. It's going to happen to it's going to happen to everybody. But shout out to Cole. Shout out to our team. It's always good to make sure that you have a strong support system to be able to bounce ideas off of and be able to sort of restructure, refocus, and bring you back. But where I'm going with that, to kind of make it a little bit more make sense, is the difference between the importance and the urgency. And for me, I struggled to see the difference in the very beginning because things that would come up that would sidetrack me, I'm like, oh, this is urgent. I need to stop what I'm doing now. But is it going to, throwing a term out there, KPIs, key performance indicators, and personal growth trackers are pivotal to any business, to your personal growth, to your personal development. Urgency doesn't necessarily dictate, like Cole said, that you're now going to be taking that next step to hit a milestone. So I encourage anybody that's out there that's listening, if you have not yet done so in the mornings, set your MINS, set your goals, figure out what it is that's the most important, that's going to help you jump you to the next level.
And real quick,
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, just speaking of that, like, let's give them some tangible things. Like, so I just want to pause you there and say, like, okay, set your MINS. So what does that mean, right? Like, I have a little sticky note. I do this on sticky note every day. Yeah, I know it's barbaric, but like, it's what works for me. So every day I have on a sticky note every single item that I need to get done that day, or in the next couple of days. It's just a to-do list. And then, like you said, set the MINS. I go through and I go line by line and go, okay, which of these items are the 3 things that will propel me forward and will cause a jump in growth, not just urgent tasks. So just want to like emphasize that's how you set your MINS for the day.
Dude, you know what I think? And this is, again, we're running these things no script. What I think I'm going to do, you know what? This is what we're going to do. Down below, we're also going to give a list of just some of the things that we use. And so whether you're listening to a Spotify, Apple, doesn't matter. Find it, look at the description, use that indicator or that link to be able to try to help you to kind of set yours. And then also leave us feedback. In the very beginning, we always say, you know, like, share, comment. Well, this is what I want you to comment about. I want you to let us know if you're able to set your MINS, if you need help or difficulty, if you can't figure it out, reach out. Let's dive into it. My second point, again, fully out, no script. That just mind blown, Cole. What we need to do is kind of a recap of this year and next year for goal setting and the importance of rocks.
Oh.
It just came to me, like, we have a daily routine. Well, why do we do it? And you asked the question initially, like, how does it go? Like, we're telling you to do these things. Well, bigger picture now, what's the actual importance behind doing it? Well, just to give you kind of a quick overview for us, every year, when we're jumping into Q1, so let's just say November, December. We can throw in October because that's the month we're in, right? What we'll do is we'll sit down and we'll map out the trajectory of what we want to see happen over the course of the next few Q4s, right? Q1, Q2, 3, and 4. What do we need to do? And we use what's called rocks. What needs to happen within those rocks? And then we'll take it one step further. So we've got end goal, end of the year. That's step 1. Then we've got the 4 increments, which will be the quarterly goals. But then we take it a step further to say what milestones do we need to hit to make sure that we're staying on track. And this is what we track with our weekly meetings. This is what we talk about with our team. Heck, this is what I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, okay, what do we need to do next? We've got ideas. We're jumping in. Let's go time. So that's the importance of being able to have those MINS in the very beginning of the morning, but also being able to see what's then pushing you and propelling you forward. Again, Nate needs to get off his soapbox. This one you're supposed to go that long, but
no, it's so good. And I just to like echo that, like, so I like how you just painted the picture from the end to where you get now. And just to echo that completely is like you said, you set your MINS factor in your daily, right? Your MINS, your dailies, they factor into your weekly goals. Your weekly goals factor in your monthly goals factor in your quarterly factors in your yearly factors in your 5-year. Like that is the whole plan. So a lot of people say, just like Nate said, set your goals. And a lot of people set these great goals. And then the year goes through and they go, wow, I didn't achieve any of them. Or maybe I'm one step closer, but that doesn't help me at all. Yeah, because you didn't break it down into actionable steps. Like you need those giant goals broken down into as small pieces as possibly can. I think it's Brandon Turner always says, you know, everything's made up of 5-minute tasks. And it's just a nice like way to put it. Like whether it's true or not true, everything can be broken down into small tasks. And so you need a to-do list that will amount to your yearly goals.
So good. And to echo this, we're bouncing off of each other. Once you're doing that, I need it to be tangible from you, though. I need you to make sure, whether it's from a vision board, whether it's from setting let's just use a Google spreadsheet, and then you're just mapping it out. Or if you go the Cole method and you decide to go a piece of paper and a pen and you just write it down and then tape it behind you, doesn't matter to me. But you need something that you're going to, and this is you for anybody that's out there, that you're going to also be able to see consistently, because it's easy. This is how we started this conversation with mindset distractions, things that are coming up, things that will steer you in other directions. It's easy to get lost. It's easy for the wind to push you off course. It's easy for that phone call to be like, oh man, this seems like it's life-changing. I got to go in this direction. Forget everything else that you already said. But you need that anchor, that rock, that kind of support. That's why I mentioned having a team. That's why I mentioned making sure that you're writing it down, that you can then look at and refocus. You know, to tie it all together again, why in the mornings for me, I sit down, I meditate, I'm doing my stretches, and I'm asking myself my questions. And I'm trying to figure out, make sure I've got everything done, what's coming up today, what steps do I need to take to make sure that I get it, make sure that Nate's preparing himself to be able to tackle today, because shit can go wrong. Shit goes sideways. But set those goals. It is crucial and pivotal. And Cole, you can let me know. Let me know your thoughts on it. But I think we should do an episode very soon to where we're kind of recapping on stuff that we're doing for this year, and then our goals and things that we want to come up with for next year. And for those that are out there, as long as Cole agrees with this, no script, just talking for fun. But we want y'all to be our accountability partners. This way you guys can kind of see what it is that we're setting and then reach out to us, check in with us. I don't know, Cole, what do you think?
I love it. I'm totally in. And just to go back to kind of what you were saying about like seeing your tasks, that is so vital. And so like, just like you said, I have a piece of paper with my to-do list. I have a board in front of me that has like yearly goals. And then I have an entire blackboard painting on my wall, which has every separate company and everything that's going on and what needs to be focused on. Like my entire office is built around what needs to get done. And so just like you're saying, I think it's so critical to understand what's happening and what needs to happen. Because if you just have a random goal in mind, it's not getting done. Break it down. And like you said, you do that by starting your morning routine, understanding what you need to accomplish that day, not getting sidetracked, etc. And I'm 100% on board with going through goals, kind of just running it, off script. I'd love to do that. Yeah, I'm in. Anything else you want to dive into here before we kind of wrap up? We're going to do a short episode, so.
No. I weirdly enough, I think this might be our first, second. That's not our first, maybe our second or third short episode. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I like these. These are really good. Like no script, we just got to get in here and we just come up and we plan. And I think that, again, those that are listening, let us know your thoughts. But I think that unplanned kind of content is the best kind of content, and it gives you all out there kind of a deep dive look into the mind of Cole and myself, and how we sort of come up and conceptualize on things and why we make the decisions that we make. So as we continue to go down this journey, as you continue to join us with Forge and Fire, whether you're in Forged Academy, you're one of our students, or you're thinking about joining us on the student side, or perhaps you're an investor out there thinking that you want to connect with operators, and hopefully Cole and myself come to mind when you do so. But we're here, and we appreciate the fact that you all are listening and hanging with us. Cole, any final thoughts on this?
No, I would just say to echo what you said, is like, please send us an email or send a comment or whatever it is to get in contact with us and let us know what type of episodes you like and what you want to hear about. If it's Nate and I jumping on and going through a specific topic, let us know what you want to hear about, whether it's raising, closing deals, doing deals, mindset, team, whatever it is. It's really helpful if we know what you want to do. Otherwise, we're just going to keep saying fuck it and just pulling stuff out of the hat, and we're going to have a good time still. But if we know what you want to go into, we will. So I love that.
Oh, dude, that is so good. And I echo his sentiments 1,000%. We can get on here, we can just talk. But if there's specific topics you want us to cover, like Cole said, we're more than happy to talk on, offline, or bring it to the masses. So reach out to us. But until then, everybody get home safe if you're listening. Thank you so much. Y'all could be anywhere else in the world, but you just had to be here listening with us today in Force and Fire. Make sure you tune in for the very next episode. And until then, you guys, take care. We'll talk soon.
See ya.
Peace.